first part was interesting. So here's our movie again, and we're on the part 2. We're on the part 2. That's what we're on. Part 2 is what we're on. I gotta clear my glasses. Oh. Where's my glasses, please? Clear my glasses while I begin the video. So, please stand by. Okay, and I'm back. Sorry to clear the glasses. Anyway, let's get on to part 2. No need to have time wasted.
So last time on Dragon Ball Super VE, Vegeta after the convincing of Trunks ended up using the improved Dragon Balls to finally revive his father King Vegeta. After a touching yet hilarious first meeting, Vegeta explained the events of the last few decades, as well as showing just how far the power of the Saiyans had come, going from Super Saiyan to mysteriously also showing Ultra Instinct. After hearing of how another Saiyan named Goku surpassed his own son, in today's video, King Vegeta finally requests a long-awaited meeting with the son of Bardock, Kakarot, for the first time. But before we begin, support this video by leaving a like right now as you're reading this and watching this video till its shocking ending. Enjoy. Our story begins with Vegeta standing in his surprising Ultra Instinct form, but Trunks' smile begins to dissipate as he realizes how his father must have achieved this form by cheating, wishing from Shenron. He asks Vegeta, "Dad, I've never seen that form from you before. Isn't that what Gohan and the others describe as Ultra Instinct? The move Goten's dad used? Don't tell me you took an easy way out and wished for this power." Vegeta immediately, however, stares back with a stern face, insulted at even the thought his own son would believe him to wish for power instead of working for it. He replies, "Idiot! Shows how well you know your old man, Trunks. The Prince of all Saiyans would never dream to wish for more power, nor could Shenron even grant a divine skill like this. No, the form you see here is no transformation. It's a technique. A technique born from a state of mind where you are calm and collected and move without thinking. During the Tournament of Power, I experimented with this against a fellow named Jiren and had some success." After all, I am a Saiyan prodigy with far more talent than Kakarot could ever hope to have. The only thing that kept me behind with regards to this technique is that as a true Saiyan, my mind since the day I was born was premeditated to lean towards anger, evil, hatred and strategic thinking. Since the day I arrived on this planet, I've shown the weakness of my Saiyan mind on multiple occasions, something Kakarot never had ever since he fell on his head. It's not something I could change with some form of pitiful therapy from an Earthling, and I realized that long ago. But Shenron, however, he most definitely had the power to change a mortal's mind instantly, and reset it back to a calm and controlled state. I always knew if I had this, my mastery of Ultra Instinct would far surpass Kakarot's. And so, that is exactly what I wished for from Shenron. I wished to have complete control of my mind and emotions, and instantly, with all the training I've received from Beerus and Whis, my ascension was complete. King Vegeta, however, hears the mention of the destroyer Beerus and immediately interrupts. What? Training with Beerus? The god of destruction, Beerus? That evil cat that treated me like a footstool! It cannot be. Did you really train with him? Vegeta responds with a head nod, and King Vegeta continues, Of course. Where and how else could you obtain such incredible power? I never got to see Beerus' true strength. But tell me, Vegeta, is there now a Saiyan stronger than even a god of destruction? Have you ever fought Beerus? Vegeta takes a moment and then responds, With this new power, I wouldn't know for sure. The extent of how strong Beerus is also something we haven't seen either. For all we know, he too could possess Ultra Instinct to some level, or an even greater ability altogether. He's mentioned to me in the past the existence of alternative techniques better suited to chaotic minds. But no, I have never fought him. Kakarot has, however, as a Super Saiyan God. Bardock's son is the savior of this planet, and saved everyone here, myself included, multiple times. As much as I hate to admit it, he alone also unlocked Ultra Instinct at a crucial time to save our entire universe from extinction during the Tournament of Power. Right now, if there was any Saiyan who could surpass Beerus, it would be Kakarot. King Vegeta, with sweat coming down his face, finds it hard to believe Vegeta's words. He thinks back to the past. It just doesn't make sense, son. I vividly remember the crying baby that woke all the other Saiyan babies each day. A low power level brat that even Bardock didn't have high hopes for. I can't understand how this baby grew up to become a legendary hero. In all the Saiyan history books, our bloodline was key to unlocking the true potential of the Saiyan. But from what I've seen so far, it doesn't seem to be the case. Listen, Vegeta, I must see Bardock's son. Now! I must meet this savior of the universe, the son of one of my loyalist subjects. I have much to ask and tell him. Vegeta, initially surprised at his father's sudden request, eventually succumbs, and the three fly off towards Goku's home. Eventually they arrive at the peaceful locale, but Goku doesn't seem to be seen. The three Saiyans then land and see a familiar hairstyle in the distance. Huh? Vegeta! There seems to be a mini Kakarot over there. I assume that's his son, huh? He too looks staggeringly like Bardock. I wonder if he also possesses great potential. While King Vegeta stares in deep thought awkwardly at the young Goten, Goten waves at Trunks and asks him, Hey Trunks, what are you doing here? Is that your grandpa? It's so boring around here since Gohan left. Wanna play? With a huge smile on his face, Trunks says, Sure, let's do it. But I warn you, I'm not going easy on you. I'm pumped up after seeing my dad transform. Goten responds, Oh, are we going super? Hey, it's been a while. I'm winning this time. The two young Saiyans then immediately transform into Super Saiyans and get ready for battle. As the two child Super Saiyans clash, King Vegeta watches on from below, again trying his best to understand what he sees in his new life on Earth. He talks to himself. The legendary transformation, reduced to a child's plaything. Two brats, just about taller than my tail. Both could have destroyed our entire race if they wanted to. One the grandson of me, and the other the grandson of Bardock. I wonder if I'm still dead, or this is really reality. As King Vegeta patiently watches on, a familiar figure spots them from afar. Hey Vegeta! Surprising to see you here. It's normally me who has to come see you. And wait, is that your dad too? The King of the Saiyans? Goku immediately rushes over and nervously begins talking. Your Highness! No, your sire, Mr. King, Vegeta's dad. It's a great honor. My name is Goku. I'm a Saiyan from Earth. You might know me as Kakarot, but before he can continue any further, King Vegeta grabs hold of Goku with both hands and stares at him intensely and begins to talk. My god! It's like looking at Bardock himself! This strong frame. I can sense great power in you. I've learned from my son of everything you did. I can't begin to thank you for defeating Frieza and avenging our people. I only wish your father Bardock and your mother Gine could see you now. I want you to know, I'm so very proud of you, and they would be too. You must see them one day. Goku listens to King Vegeta's speech, but throughout it all remains confused. He doesn't recognize any of the names apart from Frieza and asks him, Bardock and Gine? Who's that? Are they Saiyan Kings too? Vegeta is immediately stunned by Goku's response. He cannot fathom or understand how he doesn't know about his mother and father, and the incredible sacrifice they made to save him. He begins to mutter, What do you mean, Kakarot? How do you not know Bardock and Gine? How do you not know your own father and mother? Your father died battling Frieza. He was a true Saiyan warrior to the end, and one of the bravest men I ever knew. Are you truly telling me you know nothing of him, or Gine either? Goku looks back surprised, hearing the first ever details about his father and his apparent bravery and final stand against Frieza. He replies and thinks to himself, wow, so my father was called Bardock. Sounds like a tough guy. And my mother was called Gine? I guess I was only a baby when I came to Earth. Why is it so important that I don't remember them? My grandpa Gohan's the one who raised me and saved me from growing up alone. I'm sure they're cool, but I don't understand what the big deal is. King Vegeta's face then turns from shock to disappointment, and begins to feel the duty to explain to Goku and his sons the truth about his parents and what they went through to save him. He begins, Kakarot, it pains my heart to know you lived all these years not remembering your beloved parents, but I will tell you their story. Kakarot, when you were born, your father was a combat leader leading a team across the galaxy, following Frieza's orders. For years, like all of us Saiyans, he followed his commands and conquered many planets, and with ease too. As a combat leader, he was one of the most skilled Saiyans around. Your mother Gine, in contrast, was a fine woman who stayed home and prepared food for the family. One day, Frieza ordered all the Saiyans back to planet Vegeta. Your father, with his natural instinct, immediately sensed something was off and realized Frieza was planning to annihilate us all. When Bardock arrived home, he met with your mother and watched as you slept, before telling Gine about his gruesome prediction and demanded that she had faith in him, as they both then stole a Saiyan space pod, a crime punishable by death and difficult to do. to then place you inside it instead of them. Your mother loved you, Kakarot, more than most Saiyan mothers, and couldn't bear to be apart from you. Your parents, while sacrificing their own to save your life, said their last goodbye and sent you away to a weak planet while they remained behind. Sad, but at least satisfied that you would grow up safe. Ultimately, Bardock rushed to Frieza and attempted to defeat himself, but in the end, Bardock and Gine were both destroyed with the rest of the planet, with their last thoughts just wondering if you were safe and whether they would ever see you again. Goku, after hearing this story for the first ever time, is overcome with extreme emotion. Despite all his training with Mirrors to control his emotions, tears immediately stream down his face without control. With just King Vegeta's words, all the emotion, hope and love of his late parents strike him at once, and the mighty warrior breaks down. He wipes his face, trying to stop the tears, but it's in vain. King Vegeta meanwhile carries on. I only learned of this later on in the afterlife, after meeting Bardock again. We had become great friends, and though we were both in hell, we remain happy that both you and Vegeta lived on. I don't know when my time will come now that I've been revived, but one day I truly hope to see him again and tell him just how his son turned out and how you became an even greater hero than him. Both him and Gine would be so proud and so happy that their sacrifice and gamble wasn't in vain. From what I've learned, Kakarot, you have embodied all the best parts of your two parents. The selflessness of your mother Gine and the sheer bravery of your father Bardock. You not only have saved this planet of yours countless times, but saved even this entire universe with your power. Power that is exclusive to us Saiyans. And on top of that, you alone were the one to get revenge for us all. Something not even my own son Vegeta could do. And for that reason, Kakarot, I must bow down to you. I cannot claim to be the king of a Saiyan of your caliber. Thank you for everything you have done for us and this universe. Everyone is immediately shocked, including Goku, to see the king bow down and to bow down to someone like Goku. But when King Vegeta raises his head back up, he begins to say, and what I'm trying to say, Kakarot, is, given all the things you've done, and how you've grown into such a fine man, and how I would have been much older right now had I not died, it is my duty to pass over my kingship. It is my royal decree that I call you the new king of the Saiyans, Kakarot. What? Immediately, an unbelievable wave of shock ripples across Goku, Vegeta and the two boys. Goku mutters, What? Me? The king of the Saiyans? Vegeta in his head thinks, did this old man just say what I think he said? Father! Don't be absurd. The rightful king, if anyone, is me. I am the prince. The role of the Saiyan royalty has been held by and passed down the Vegeta bloodline for centuries. A low-class warrior cannot taint our history and become king. I don't even care to become king, but I'll rather die than see Kakarot become my king. I say we fight now. Winner takes all. King Vegeta, however, with an emotionless face, interjects, no, Vegeta. The right of the Saiyan royalty belongs to no family by name. Since the beginning of time, the royal Saiyan family was dictated by power, and power alone. We were the strongest family, and I was the strongest Saiyan, which made me king. As a child, you possessed a higher power level than any before, and you two were on direct track to become king. But things have changed, and undeniably now. Not only was Kakarot's father an unprecedented true representation of the Saiyan pride, fighting to the end in an unwinnable battle, but by your own admission, Kakarot has surpassed even you on numerous occasions, becoming the first Super Saiyan, the first Super Saiyan God, and more. There is no Saiyan out there more powerful or more deserving of the title of king than him. Hearing the two Vegetas bicker, Goku finally interrupts with his thoughts saying, "Hey guys, stop. As much as I'm really honored to be considered the new king, to tell you the truth, I don't even consider myself that much of a Saiyan. I'm an Earthling. I was raised here and I became who I am today, surrounded by my Earthling friends and family. Over the years, they've helped me just as much as I've helped them in saving the world and the universe. Without them, I'd be nothing, and many of the great foes I've faced were only beaten with the combined strength of them. As much as I have a newfound pride in my parents and the Saiyans, I can't accept that title as an Earthling, King Vegeta. But, in other news, I do have a proposal instead for you that I've been thinking about. So you mentioned you were the strongest Saiyan on planet Vegeta, right? That must mean you would have been stronger than both Raditz and Vegeta when they arrived. I bet if you had replaced them back then, I'd have had no chance to beat you. And I can't help but wonder how strong you'd be if you'd progressed and trained like Vegeta and I have till now. Not too long ago, Vegeta and I met some Saiyans from an alternate universe. They were young and didn't know how to become Super Saiyans. But after the smallest bit of training, all three came leaps and bounds, with one of them called Kale coming unexpectedly close in power to a Super Saiyan God. I personally don't think becoming a Super Saiyan or Super Saiyan God is the most difficult thing in the world to teach, and Super Saiyan Blue is just a Super Saiyan version of a Super Saiyan God. So, what my proposal is, I want to train you, King Vegeta, become a full-power Super Saiyan God. I want to fight the King of the Saiyans at his best. Do you accept? What? And with that, everyone is left speechless, trying to take in the wacky idea that just left Goku's mouth, and whether King Vegeta would actually accept. But that was it for today's video. If you made it this far, leave me a hashtag King Goku in the comments down below. A crazy turn of events has just happened in this original manga, written and created by myself, and you can get access to the full story and 250 plus other fan manga to read for free on my Patreon. Just support me there and you will gain an unbelievable collection. But if you want to see more Dragon Ball, anime or manga content, click on one of these two videos on the right now. Until next video guys, cheers.
Alright, I'm gonna start where we at. Marjo part 3 part 3 about to be dropped tomorrow. Reaction to part 3. So see you guys in the next video.